I am ever so slightly sorry. I actually forgot I had started my stream. I started doing some work stuff. Oh, but here you are. Despite being forgotten, you're still here. Pepe, hello, Foldminator, Tricaset, Sure how is life? Oh. Do we have a problem with the camera again? I feel like my sound is like a teeny tiny bit off. And also the camera looks a bit strange. Hey Dirk, how you doing? No uptime. I've been alive for like 5 minutes. It wasn't the end of the world. But I started doing something else and I forgot that I had put on the starting soon screen. Oh my god, Robin! That is so unfortunate. When was it? Robin Peter in here with a founder's badge and that 2-month sub. I do believe Robin Peter was our first ever sub and he has the founder's badge to prove it. Thank you so much, Robin. When was your anniversary? I can tell you everything that happened to me that day. This weekend I was in Denmark, actually, playing the Danish league. And for the first time in 1.5 years, I gained rating on a rating list. It's amazing. I beat a 2570 rated player with the black pieces. So that was good. 3 or 4 days ago, yeah, I was in Denmark. Feels bad, man. +1? No, actually, Dirk, it's more like +4. But you're in the correct-ish category. But before that, I had a lost rating in like every single list. It's pretty depressive viewing. Wow, Robin Peter, the first ever subscriber to my channel, getting the 24-month, the 2-year badge. And he's so important with the founder's badge, he doesn't even get to show off the 2-year badge. So I'm gonna make a comment in chat so that you can see what it looks like. Eddie the Eagle, back in the house for a 2-month resub. Thank you so much, Eddie. Can you understand anything Danes say either in Danish or English? It depends from person to person, Tricaset. So there's this Danish kid, Bjørn Malosjne. He's a very nice guy, and I think he has a good understanding of what makes the Danish language different to other Scandinavian languages. So very often when we talk, he is extra aware of being careful of using like words that are only used in Danish. So I understand him very well. And then actually this was interesting. During the league weekend, a lot of the people, I was there with Johan Salomon, another Norwegian grandmaster. And it was actually like older people would start talking to us in English more so than the younger ones. I don't know what the cause of that is. Also, there's one of my teammates, Martin Percivaldi. He has no idea what Norwegian is. So that's just no chance. You have to talk to him in English. Hey, Gurucentric. I don't know that song, Percy. Hey, Hiataman, how you doing? I'm doing well, Aria. How are you? Well, actually, I'm not doing that well. As you may see from my recently updated stream title, I am sick. And I got sick like the last day of Danish League in Køge. And I won this black game against the Grandmaster. Actually, he's not a Grandmaster, but he's like 2570. so it's just a matter of time. This black game I played with the most horrendous headache. But I feel better than I did on Sunday. So I don't have the headache, but my nose is kind of the opposite of a running nose, but like in a bad way. I feel like you cannot say constipated about a nose. Anyway, stuffy. That does seem like the correct term, Cheetah. Thank you. No, I don't really feel that sick, Shua. My eyes are pretty tired, so I haven't really been sleeping enough. Because when you're sick, you're supposed to sleep extra amounts, right? And I've barely slept the normal amount. I got this nose spray, no advertising intended, but we're clearing up my sinuses, which is going to improve things. I feel like I'm kind of at that stage where you know how you know you're going to be sick in the near future. I'm kind of afraid that I'm at that stage, and that once I manage to kind of fix my nose being completely stuffed, then it will just start, then it will become a runny nose. That's my fear. Could be a Danish virus, Tricaset. I didn't even consider that. But now that you've mentioned it, it's all I can think of. Hello also to Chesober and Lex in the Chess24 chat. Do you enjoy Sudoku? No, not really, Gurucentric. I don't really know much about the game. The closest thing I've come to mastering Sudoku is giving my mom a Sudoku strategy book for Christmas some 10 years ago. I never read the book myself, and I never really tried to solve Sudoku puzzles. Glad you don't have the same illness as Magnus had today. Yeah, me too, Gondolius. Wow, Magnus was not feeling well today. He had some serious stomach issues. He made like white draws in 5 moves. Ohms, thank you so much for the 8-month resub. Thank you for your support. How is my mom? She's getting better, Yataman, but it's breaking your ankle really. It's a bad injury. She's not 100%. I'm not even sure she ever will be, but she's close to like 85 now, so it's definitely better. Oh, my mom definitely read the book, Dirk. It's one of the most successful Christmas presents I've ever given anyone. Because she does this, all the time. Hey, CJ, how are you doing? I was pretty massively sick past pawn while I was playing my tournament on Sunday. But honestly, I've been feeling a bit better since then. I've been, drinking some fluids. Some tea. But right now I actually feel worse than most of the time yesterday. I can't really describe it though. It's like a feeling of fatigue. Also, I'm very happy to announce that the fire alarm, which got, it lost its battery somehow. Somehow the battery disappeared because it was making a lot of noise to inform us that it needed to change batteries. And that was distracting both to myself and the stream. So I took out the battery. And I'm happy to say that despite not fixing that issue, I still have a fire alarm in my apartment, which was confirmed at 3:30 a.m. this morning when the fire alarm went off and the entire building had to step outside. So that's good. Snaiman with a 22-month straight sub, 22 months in a row. Thank you so much, Snaiman. Maybe beer will make it better. No, Pizza Racer. I'm not that. I don't really drink beer. But I did buy a lot of chocolate milk though, so maybe that's gonna help. I also had some glug ish. Because in Norway we have this thing called saft, which I think it doesn't really have a good word in English, but you guys are missing out. Soft is very good, and I had some warm soft. Solbær. So that was. I've been trying to drink my fluids. I know that's what you're supposed to do. Was there a fire though? Asks Trika. No, there was no fire. So what had happened is that the water heating tank in the basement had malfunctioned in some way, and then it had let off steam, and this steam was interpreted by the detectors as being, very warm and potentially hazardous for the inhabitants of our building. No wonder you're feeling tired. Yeah, it didn't really help past pawn. A bit early for glug. Does it have to be alcohol in glug? It's like the feeling I have for glug is like that you have like raisins and nuts in it. Lousy building. It's an old building, Dirk, but it's very well located, I would say. Soft is like fruit concentrate with water in it. Yeah, just that explanation in itself, CJ, illustrates the lack of a word for it in English. Today, some bullet games. Area, honestly, I was considering it, but I'm going to try my luck with some bullets first. Because my head isn't really working as quickly as, normal. And frankly, even at normal pace, my head doesn't work that fast. So we're going to take it slow. Location, location, location. Yes, Dirk. That is my policy for property investments. Ah, interesting, Aoi. Mulled wine. Yeah, so it's I feel like it's kind of similar to that. Especially when I drink it heated like I did these days. Well, Levy is tilted. Feels bad, man. Chess does that to people. Solberg, yes, that's the one, Gondolias. Lemonade? You think in English, Tim? I don't know, because lemonade is so sweet and it's so specific to drinks made from lemons, I feel. But yeah, kind of. I guess you can use the term lemonade for like different things. So solbær would be blackcurrant, I think. So it's like blackcurrant lemonade. But yeah, maybe something like that. Yes, we're playing chess today, Lex. We're just catching up on what happened this weekend. I went to Denmark, I won 2 chess games, and I got sick. That's really... Toddy? Oh, yeah, maybe they do call it toddy in English, Tim. But that's like the heated version, though. So normally in Norway, you would drink soft, you would drink cold. And I made it heated because I'm sick. Never go to Denmark. Alms, the Swedes and Norwegians. There's not much we can agree on in a life, but we can agree that the Danes are not good. Okay, let's get a game, and Chesapeake is our first challenger. Okay, let's see if the hammer repertoire can help us out once again. I did, of course, this weekend in Denmark. I did play the hammer repertoire. My opponent played the modern slash pitch. Is that the correct pronunciation? Do we have Slovenians in chat? I played the pitch, and I got a decent position from the opening. Well, actually, I made a kind of not. I'm not sure I made the right decision at one point. But then he made like 3 very bad decisions in a row. So I was winning out of the opening. What's the criteria of challenging me? Chess on Earth, go to the Chess24 website, challenge the username Hammer. But unfortunately, I'm only playing against Chess24 premium members. So that means if you want your challenge to be accepted, you should become a Chess24 premium member, which has a lot of benefits beyond getting to play with me. You can also participate in the banter blitzes with Magnus Carlsen. He recently won a tournament in India in spectacular fashion. You may have heard of it. Also, you can watch video series of which Chess24 has a unprecedented quality in their library. Pizza Racer, gifting a sub to Perpetual Stalemate. Thank you so much, Pizza. You feel sorry for Anand? Honestly, I was too sick / worried about other things / honestly, I was sleeping most of the time they were playing that tournament. It started at like 8 a.m. in the morning, Norwegian time. I did not follow that tournament very, very well. I was asleep most of it. I know that Anand didn't qualify, but was he very close? Did he have like a particularly poor effort / tournament / something? How big a queue? I'll check. For you, I'll check. We got 5 people challenging, I think. Past pawn. Also remember that you can use your hammer points to skip the queue past pawn. Okay, what are we going to do here? I'm going to put the knight on b4. Kind of, I want him to provoke him into doing this move. But also I want the option of going here at some point. I'm not committing anything. I'm just going to sit here and soon I'll start attacking something. Avronian lost 118 rating points. That is quite a bit, Carlo. But also the blitz and rapid ratings are so dumb. They got completely the wrong coefficient, so it's kind of difficult to take it seriously. Your rating is so dependent on your latest result. Yeah, feels bad, Riata, man. But I did warn you that the hammers would be valuable, and yet you kept on wasting them. Knight f3, e1, d3, b4, what a maneuver. This is Grandmaster stuff, Tree Cassette. They say you shouldn't move a piece more than once, and I say, I will do whatever I feel like. Okay. I can do whatever I like. Okay, I kind of didn't want to give away that pawn, but I think we're gonna be fine. We'll capture some stuff and see what remains after. Okay, So he's going to go rook a1. No. He's kind of trapping my rook. Feels bad, man. Okay, that was a big mistake. Because now he let my pawn start running. He should have tried to... Okay, we get the win. Hey, Kasparov fan, how you doing? The Danes call us Norwegian mountain apes. I mean, is it strange that we don't really like them? Also, they were kind of ruling us and stealing our best minds throughout the 1800s. Hey, big boy, how are you? Jake, you should submit a game to our competition. Still didn't properly announce. Flo won for October, but I haven't made a proper announcement. And he also has the lead for November, seeing as how he is the only one to have submitted a 1e4 game played with the Hammer repertoire on the Chess24 server. We're canceling the competition in December, I'm afraid to say, because of lack of interest. You haven't played anything in the Hammer repertoire? Honestly, Jake, I am a 2600 Grandmaster, and even though the repertoire is aimed more at 1800 and 1600 rated players, I have now been following that repertoire in every single game I've played the last month, and I'm getting winning or plus minus positions, clear advantages in every single game. It's really insane. And I'm not even exaggerating. Every game. Yeah, I saw your submissions, big boy. But I also disqualified them on account of not actually using the Hammer repertoire. I think you gotta invest some time in checking out the recommended lines. Did I look at the Fight Like Magnus? Yes, I was asked to check it out and test it area. It's based on Magnus's games. It's pretty good. I'm not sure it's available on Chess24 though. I think it's only on Chessable, if I'm not wrong. Selecki in general is a pretty hard worker. So I as far as I understand, his stuff is pretty trustworthy. It is covered, Jake. It's the improved Philidor. But yeah, it's covered under the Philidor move order, which I understand can be a little bit tricky. Scandinavian will be a good hot opening now that Magnus plays it. Yeah. And our Scandinavian coverage wasn't really that amazing. Okay, next up, I feel like there were some challengers that disappeared. But next up is Area 51. And once again, the white pieces. Lady Luck smiling upon me today. Easy win. Co-aliens, says Kasparov fan. Wow. And an area actually goes through with the Queen d6 Scandinavian, like Magnus does. Okay, c6. By chance, anyone remember what I recommended here? I feel like maybe bishop e2. That I just developed my pieces. Lady Luck has a stuffed nose. Yeah, that is true, Dirk. Suddenly you guys could hear it. I hit it well for a little time, but it's there. Fellow countryman? Yeah, I don't really know. He's a big fan of Norway. Area, are you living in Norway at the moment? Or are you just a big fan? You don't like losing the D pawn. No, I do not, big boy. That I do remember making a point out of. What song is that? I can do whatever I like. Yeah, I think area is Armenian, but Armenia, Norway, both small countries with big hearts for chess. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this bishop long term. You know what? I'm just gonna do this so that I get this square. But then maybe I should have put my bishop on g2 if I was gonna play g3 anyway. Okay, so this was my intention with this g3 move. And it's game over. I am such a tricky guy. Knight e5, game over. Oh, who would have thought a grandmaster at chess being very, very, very sneaky? Because if he takes on e5, I am not taking back. Asking annoying questions, really trying to live up to that username, asking, have you switched from chess.com to chess24 for money reasons? And I have a command for that question. Well, or rather, it's a link to a tweet where I elaborate on why I made the switch. And it's primarily because I'm now working with the Play Magnus company. And it seemed a bit weird working on developing new good chess tools for Play Magnus while then going home and streaming for their main competitor in chess.com. So it made more sense for me to switch over so that because chess24 is owned by Play Magnus. So it made a lot of sense from a business standpoint. Okay, we got the knight on d7 and we got a resignation. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Because this was my intention when I played g3. So I understood that this change of pawn structure by capturing on d5 was actually pretty beneficial for me. And now here, after bishop f4, there's the trap with queen c6, knight e5. Okay, I'm not sure I saw the knight e5 trap when I played g3. But I saw this position after bishop f4 with the threat on the queen. potential for going knight d6 or knight e3. And even here, knight e3 would have been a decent move for white. And then go like bishop b5 or c4. The queen is a bit exposed. But when we got to this position, I realized there's an even stronger move in knight e5. And if he had gone back, then even this knight d6 move could be pretty annoying because he's never going to get his king to safety. They pay you extra to only play premiums? Well, they pay me, Aoi. So it's like a sponsorship agreement. And as part of our deal is that I only play premiums, which I agreed to. Because it's kind of the same thing they have going on in every time they stream. If you want to play against Jan, you have to be premium. If you want to play against Magnus, you got to be premium, and so on. Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with that game. Let's go to our next challenger, who is Hyataman. Wow. Third white game in a row. And your subs that aren't premium, yeah, Dirk, it's unfortunate. But yeah, that was something I knew going into this, that's a problem, but what are you gonna do? Chess coming in with a raid of 151. How's everyone doing? What kind of broadcasts happens on chess at noon Eastern? I should have checked my Twitch. How's everyone doing? I'm Jon Ludvig Hammer. My bishop is currently under attack from the knight. So I have made the decision to move the bishop. Because one of my pet peeves in chess is that the bishops are monstrously undervalued. And whenever you come visit me, you should use the respect the bishops emote. And as you can see, my chat is very well groomed to know that that is our favorite go-to emote. From the great coach Daniel. Oh, thank you so much. Courtesy of King's Bishops. Thank you guys. How are you guys today? We're playing a Spanish strategic main line. And I have played this many times against Hyataman in the past. Hyataman's main strategy is just winning on time. And frankly, it's against me, that's a pretty effective strategy, I gotta say. More effective than I would like it to be. Also, I may have made a mistake there. He tricked me with this knight b7 move. It's a bit unusual to play it first, but it worked out well for him. Yes, let's learn some chess on Earth. Okay, this is not beginners though. This is one of the most traditional openings in chess, the Spanish. And it is filled with difficult strategic decisions. So difficult that I'm actually struggling to make them. And right now I'm about to lose on time. Just 51 seconds left. Hyataman is very sneaky when it comes to getting time advantages. An expert in the field. Now I am so tempted by... There's so many pieces hanging that it's easy to lose control. Down to 41 seconds. but I think I managed to win a pawn. If my calculations are correct, I have succeeded in winning a pawn. And they were. I'm a pawn up, should win the game, but I'm down to just 30 seconds on the clock, and the Hiyata man has almost beaten me on time before. So he knows he can do it. It's a tricky situation. Okay, we're gonna actually get the queens off the board. Okay, I just played like 4 really bad moves in a row. But I play them quickly. Sometimes it's more important to play quickly than play well. I struggle with that concept, but it doesn't make it any less true. Okay, we're just gonna take all his pawns, I think. Okay. How many passed pawns do I have right now? It's a significant amount. Oof, I almost lost that guy. I have so many pawns. You would think that these are gonna create some trouble for him, even if I'm down to just 13 seconds. Just push all of them. Just see what happens. So far, so good. And it's not stalemate. So we get the win in time. Such a good name, translated to Mexican? Oh, really? Because he hasn't actually explained it himself. Sure, rude. Do you want to explain the username to us? Ah, Jake with a submission for our competition. If you haven't seen it yet, take a look at chat right now. We're having a competition on who can play the best game using the Hammer repertoire. The Hammer repertoire is a video series I released at the beginning of October. It's a full repertoire recommending 1e4 aimed at players of all strengths, really, and recommending some of the main openings in chess. Oh, and CJ, everyone should join the competition, she says, with the 2,000 hammers. Really making an investment to make people aware of the benefits of our little contest. And also Nicola coming in for the 7-month resub. Tier 2, 7-month tier 2 resub. Thank you so much, Nicola. Okay, Shua. I understand now why he hasn't explained the username then. I don't know what you're talking about. And now I cannot tell which one of them is joking. Okay, let's move on to the next game. Go Hammer repertoire. I got white in every single game so far, Perinos. I have been crushing it today. People are getting destroyed at the hands of our powerful white openings. Come to Mexico? That's a bit of a stretch, saying that to a Mexican. Sure. Okay, a Scotch opening from Big Boy. He's playing one of these crazy gambits where you just make sure to develop as quickly as possible, get your king into safety, and pray, essentially. Either is fine, Prinos. Hey, Balazs. Yeah, you and me both. I can only do a 2-hour stream today, partly because I'm not feeling that great, but also because after my stream, we're actually raiding Chess 24 for the first time. We will have another banter blitz, just starting as my ends with Ostrovsky, I think it is. What do you do if e5? Luckily, once upon a time, I didn't have to decide this game. So in this position, e5 is the critical move, and it's a very dangerous situation for both players, really, but mostly for black, because black is going to have a position with a troublesome king, while white will give away a couple of pawns to create some trouble. I'm actually doing neither. I'm not going to London, and I'm not staying in Oslo. How is that? It is because I am going to my birthplace. I'm going to Bergen, the second biggest city in Norway, because it is the headquarters of TV2. Maybe not second biggest. Second biggest broadcaster, TV broadcaster in Norway. And there I will be doing commentary on the London tournament. So it's London related, but neither in London nor Oslo. Is the London classical? I, as any good commentator, has of course researched this, Dirk. So I am very happy to tell you that for once I have information about formats, which you should never take as a granted. The answer to your question is yes, it is classical. So the way it works is that now the results from the previous Grand Chess Tour tournaments are voided or kind of doesn't count. Those Grand Chess Tour points was to be able to qualify for the grand final in London. And now that I really played this poorly, I let him have so much compensation for a pawn. Now that we have our 4 finalists, they are going into a knockout system. So I think Magnus will be playing Aronian, since Aronian was number 4. Is that correct? If Aronian was number 4 in the standings and Magnus was number 1, I think the first matchup will be Aronian versus Magnus. And in that matchup, okay, we're going to play this and then hope he doesn't take it. So in the knockout format, there's 2 classical games, and then there's so many blitz and rapid games. I think it's 4 rapid games and 4 blitz games, something like that. It's actually kind of similar to the Fischer Random. It's actually very similar to the Fischer Random in that it's a knockout system with semifinals and then a final. It's 3 different time controls. First 2 days, it's 1 game a day. And then for the 3rd day, it's like a crazy hectic schedule. Oh, MBL was 4th? Wow. Did Aronian get a point for finishing in the last place? Okay, that wasn't necessary. The bishop was already defended. And now I even got a passed pawn. No stopping that passed pawn. Should be a good matchup. Everything should be a good matchup, yeah, David. Aronian got 1 point for being in the last place. But then what on earth was the discussion about whether or not Aronian already had qualified? Was there someone behind him who could catch up? I mean, we even made this whole thing. Last stream, I cut this out, saved it as a photo, put it on the screen. And I thought we said that it was a contest between MVL, Aronian, and Anand. But really, Aronian was qualified all the way, maybe. Because if he still gets 1 point for finishing the last place, he was always going to overtake MVL. Okay, if So had won the tournament and Anand had come second, third, or fourth. Okay, that seems like a very specific set of circumstances. CJ. Yeah, I was actually on TV2 today to do kind of a short some short comments on Magnus's performance in India for the Grand Chess Tour. And the makeup lady there, she was like, "Oh, your hair is so amazing. Your curls are really nice," and so on and so forth. So I know the struggle of curly-haired people, but I also know that we are envied. So I guess we just gotta appreciate that, CJ. Good money? Yeah, Henry. They made quite a bit of money this season. No, Kasparov fan. I'm actually very used to stylists complimenting my hair. I don't think it was flirting, actually. Good, like all the male stylists as well, they say, "Oh, you have such amazing hair." So I've started to think that my hair is actually really good. I mean, look at it. Look at it. It looks pretty good. A 100 bits for amazing hair. Thank you so much, Snooker. If anything, you know, you should rather donate to those less fortunate in the hair department, because you know I'm covered. I got my thing going on. What is this move? Have we seen this move before? Are you supposed to play like this? I'm very confused. I think this might be the main line. Many gifts, yes. Which pawn? Thank you. Maybe the male stylists were also flirting. Well, at this point, Tricassette, I feel like the same message has been repeated so many times. I think it may be more about its contents than anything else. You can become a hair model? Maybe Pizza Racer. I'll have to look into that. Nose hair. Yeah, no. Yeah, I got a lot of that as well. In general, I'm very fortunate in the hair department. Respect the bishops? Yeah, Norder. I'm breaking principles here. But on the other hand, I have a winning position, I suspect. So we'll make some allowances for winning positions. Okay, so many tempting options. Do I go c4? Do I go queen takes c3? Do I go knight takes c3? If I go knight takes c3, I suspect he's just going to go with the queen back to where it came from. And that might actually be kind of annoying. But I decided now that if queen d2, then queen b2 is pretty good. Strategically winning position? I mean, strategically, I think my position is crap because I don't have the bishop pair. So it's more about the fact that my pieces are incredibly active. Look at all of these guys. They're in such amazing positions. And that's the main reason for me having very good chances here. Okay, he's actually getting the queens off the board, which is kind of annoying. Can I go rook b1? Or is that too crazy? Looks pretty okay. Nicola coming in with the 1,000 Corgo bits. Thank you so much, Nicola. Okay, rook b1 was played. He made a mistake. He shouldn't have taken with the knight. Because now the bishop, the queen, and the knight working together against this king, it's very, very bad news. It's actually checkmate. I could be tempted to take the bishop, but I think I'm going to give checkmate in one move instead. Unam, you need to get your king into safety. That's what happened right there. You never castled your king and you got punished. Punished bad. Vanilla, yes, I've been following the Rapid and Blitz with Magnus a little bit, but it was so early in the morning and I've been competing myself and also being sick a little bit. So I've mostly followed results. But I also retweeted something. There was like this one rook move Magnus played against Avronyan. It was so incredible. It was so good. Yeah, you guys got to go to my Twitter and check it out. It's amazing. Beautiful. Thank you, Witch Pawn. Sacrificing a rook for a knight, but that knight was such a crucial defender of the white king. And we made some trickery with our guy. Yes, Area, rook c2. That was an amazing move. Hoff Believer, thank you so much for the 3-month resub. Getting the silver hammer. Thank you for your support. The Hosted, hi, how are you doing? Early in the morning is a good enough argument. Thank you, Jake. But honestly, I should be getting up earlier in the morning. The sun is currently setting in Oslo at like 3:30 p.m. So right now we have daylight from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And when I say daylight, I mean it's still barely light out. But at least, you know, there is some sunlight. Right now it's just pitch dark and it has been for more than 3 hours. They say Norway in November. I didn't know this. My dad actually told me yesterday that it's like a thing that Norway in November is the most depressing because the snow hasn't really arrived. So like in Tromsø, if you go even further to the north where there's even less sunlight, it might actually be better, less depressing, because then the the snow is not melting away. And when white snow is kind of lying everywhere, it feels lighter even though there's not sunlight. But right now, Oslo in late November without any snow, it's dark, it's bleak, it's gloomy. Who wants to come up with some more adjectives? Oh yeah, I should change that command area. Shimmering. I don't know that word. I'm gonna have to look that up. Nothing to reflect the sunlight. Precisely hosted. Precisely. Shimmering. I don't know. Shimmering sounds to me like a nice adjective. We weren't really looking for that. Are you a fan of the big north during the winter? In that case, we may throw you out. Dirk. Bleak. Yeah, I already used that one, Ulan. I was ahead of you on that. Gloomy, I also did Chess on Earth. I think I covered the most important adjectives. I got some in my vocabulary. You added slim. Yeah, I don't even know what slim means. I'll look it up. Well, I don't know what it means in this context. Okay, I still don't understand what you mean by slim. Oh, okay, I get it. Chess on Earth. Okay, let's play some more chess to make us feel better about the reality outside. Anyone here from the southern hemisphere? In which case, I can tell you we are very jealous of you guys right now. What are we playing? Let's play a Sicilian. Okay, here's the big question. Has Flo successfully learned the hammer repertoire? I think we're doing this and then this. I'm just going to play the main line and see if he remembers what I recommended. That's not the right one. Is it a problem? I think it is a problem because now black is able to put so much pressure on e4 that white is going to have to play d3. And then you don't get that same central control as you do in the main line. You prefer bishop d7, Halvard? Yeah. Honestly, I probably should as well. It is definitely more boring than the alternative. Wow. He's actually sacrificing the pawn. And I am actually too chicken to take it. Okay, now though, now I might have gained some bravery. Take, knight g5. It's a little bit scary, no? Wow, he actually managed to scare me enough to avoid doing that. Okay. I'm not taking it. I got too scared. Well, I mean, making easy draws is not really the point of the hammer repertoire, right? We want boring, but with potential to outplay Halvard. Oh wait, you're saying you made a draw with the black pieces? Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, I think we're gonna do this, and after bishop d2. Okay, he didn't go bishop d2. I kind of want to go knight c5, but then knight c2 is a problem because my bishop doesn't really have that many squares. Let's just do this. Yes, random name. I will be doing commentary on the London Chess Classic. TV2. TV2 Sport Premium 2. Something like that. They changed the names of their channels and I kind of lost track. There's one of the sports channels for TV2. I'm very tempted to make this move. Geary repertoire. I will admit, Perpetual, that I ripped off this line from one of Geary's games. But honestly, when preparing a hammer repertoire, which is supposed to be pretty, boring and solid, checking Geary games is a pretty good strat. It's just the smart thing to do. Is it possible to watch TV2 online outside of Norway? I'm sure there's some semi-legal way, random name, but I don't think there's an easy way, no. Okay, we're gonna... Ooh, I'm so good. I'm so good at chess. It's really unfair to you guys how good I am. I have beaten Magnus Carlsen. And here you guys are supposed to have a chance. Rook d2. I'm so good that I just accidentally put my pieces on amazing squares. Game over. Omid, your team won the soccer tournament. Congratulations. Well done. I want to play with you guys sometime. I really miss playing soccer with chess people. It makes me feel really good at the game. Mickey, coming in with the anniversary 1 year resub. Thank you so much. Oh, Queen C2. That would have been... Yeah, but, Marius with the 23-month resub. Yeah. Very close. Very, very close to the 2-year anniversary. Okay, so the point of this Rook D2 move is that I'm now threatening stuff along the second rank. But if he takes the rook, which did seem like the idea with his previous move, trying to exchange stuff, then I go Queen E1. And it is I who get the back rank checkmate instead of him. Because if I had gone Queen takes E2, and then Queen F1, not really working because there's a check. So I needed to lure his rook away from the last rank, while not allowing his queen to get back into defense, right? So if I took the rook, queen comes back and protects. Carlsen was pretty formidable in India. That's one way of putting it, Marius. No, Anand did not qualify. So for the semifinals, I think it's going to be Carlsen MVL and Ding Aronyan. It's interesting matchups. I really hope Magnus feels better though. He was really plagued by some kind of food poisoning stomach thing today. He was making draws with white in 6 moves. which was a clear indicator that he was not feeling great, because otherwise he would have tried to destroy everyone and set a record for the highest ever score in one of these Grand Chess Tour tournaments. Being European, you should not be making the stupid mistake of calling it soccer. That's not how it works though, Avalanche. In American English, its name is soccer. And when I was a kid and lived a year in the US, I played at the Rock Ridge Soccer Club. So, to me, it's soccer. Food poisoning in India? Impossible. Well, I don't know if it was food poisoning, because also Magnus likes to take some risks in his food. I remember we once went to an Indian restaurant in Oslo, and Magnus ordered some kind of traditional dish, right? And the girl asks, "How spicy do you want this?" And Magnus is like, "Very spicy." And she asks, "Norwegian spicy or Indian spicy?" And he goes, "Indian spicy." And, well, people asked him how it tasted, and he had to say that, I can't really taste much because it's just burning in the mouth. Did he go all red and sweaty? I think actually, Avalanche, he finished his plate, which I was not expecting him to do. It was, he was less talkative than normal during that meal. I think that's the best way to describe it. He had to fully concentrate on how to digest all the spice. Oh, Bloby, you're trying the Cochrane Gambit again? I'll make sure to be black in our game then. Was this Chennai? No, it was an Indian restaurant in Oslo, Marius. It was the one above Egertorget. D6. By any chance, someone in chat remember what we're supposed to do? I think rook e1 is the move. And now we go d4. No, Tarani. It was the Rock Ridge Soccer Club outside of Oakland. I don't really know what to do here. Let's try this one. Yeah, Yaipu, that's the one, Adro. My favorite Indian place was, it was kind of in that same area. It was like 2 or 3 houses down from Egertorget. Towards Akershus Festning. But they did so well for themselves that they moved to a better location. So now they're at Akerbygge. And they're much less cozy than they used to be. No, not Mr. India. I forget its name. You have an Indian place named Holy Cow. Wow. Remember your repertoire? I'm trying Avalanche. I think I remembered it correctly, but who knows? Okay, chat now is just discussing Indian restaurants in Oslo, which honestly could be useful for most people should you come visit us. And you should come visit us. Oh, that's a mistake. New Delhi, that's the one, Adro. Adro is really hitting it with these Indian restaurants. He knows his stuff there. You know, I think I heard of it, CJ. As if the rest of the world can afford a trip to Oslo. Are you kidding me, Jake? You can fly now from New York to Oslo for like $250. The Norwegian airline is so cheap, it honestly should be banned in these, climate change stuff times. It's ridiculously cheap to fly to Oslo these days. Eating in Oslo is a different story. But I just spent some time in Denmark, and the Danish kroner is so strong right now. That's also something you should take into consideration, that the Norwegian kroner is at its weakest basically ever. So if there's at any point a good time to come to Norway, this is it. We have like the weakest exchange rate to the Danish kroner in like probably several decades. We have the weakest exchange rate to the euro for like 10 years. Same with the dollar. Probably the same with the Swiss franc. This is the moment, people. But this is not the time of year. So now is the moment to come to Oslo, but wait until May next year. May is nice. Norway in May. That's when you want to come. Also, I should get sponsored by like Visit Norway or something. That would be good. Going to the dentist is slightly expensive, Sane. And also, my dad kind of convinced me to go to like this extra expensive dentist. So I don't even want to tell you how much she costs. You just spent 24,000 Norwegian kroners at the dentist. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. Say no. I feel your pain. Karmar! Thank you so much for the 9-month resub. Is this already bad for black? No, Fetter Anton. This is one of the best lines, I think, for black in the Scandinavian. And I played this like, I wonder if I even played this the last stream. And I don't remember what I'm supposed to do. Let's just try to get the bishop pair maybe. Hey Aquila, you snuck in here with basically the identical color of your username, the same mod sign, the same sub sign, the same prime sign as Marius. So honestly, it took me some time to realize it was a different person. How are you doing today? Aquila, I did not get you sick in New York. I want nothing to do with the blame for that. I wasn't even sick in New York. I was taking vitamin C's as a precaution. How is Norway not a part of the EU? I mean, Britain is currently considering leaving the EU, so they're liking what we did. At least someone likes it. Yeah, Perinos did study Kasparov fan. He clearly tried to find some weaknesses in the repertoire. I think we're doing fine though. Let's see where he puts the queen. I was hoping he would put the queen on d7, but having thought about it, I'm not really sure whether it's such a big deal after all. I'm getting very low on time. Okay, I guess we'll just do this and see what happens. Are people in Norway pro-Trump? No. What are the new rewards for hammers? Aquila, you can now choose who we raid. You can... I need to speed up. You can choose who we raid. You can cut the queue. That's a pretty good one. You can skip the queue. Use some hammers for that. It's a pretty brave move by our guy. Very brave, man. Just opening up close to his king when I have just 15 seconds left. He might regret that decision very soon. Threatening checkmate in 1. Wow, it's unbelievable. I cannot see a checkmate here right now. Oh, I let him escape. I'm such an idiot. I let him escape. Oh, moron. Idiot sandwich. Okay. Get flagged. Narrow escape. Yeah, but that's how we do it. If it ain't narrow, it ain't fun. When are you going to discuss the games? What do you mean, Jake? Oh, you mean the submissions for November? We'll get to it. Maybe we'll do it on Thursday. Maybe we'll do it come December. Good try, Perinos. Good game. Wow. Modify the emotes. That's a pretty good one, Ulan. The pentive with sunglasses. But they're not 100% on the ice, unfortunately. I should try out those modified emotes. I'm guessing there's like a couple to choose from with like elements just posted certain places in the emote. Pre-moves should be banned in online chess. I don't know if I agree with that, Avalanche. I think it adds a layer of complexity. But what you can do is what Chess24 does, which is that pre-moves count towards your kind of it doesn't count as 0.0 seconds spent. It counts kind of the lag, the inherent lag you have in your system. So whenever I pre-move, I think my move registers about at the same time as my ping or something. Wow, I can really tell that my nose is not sounding great. Okay, I'm muting for a little bit. Okay, back. You didn't want to see that? I was considering whether or not I should show it on screen. I thought, and I maintain, that that was within what you can broadcast. Wow. I didn't realize that leaning back was going to cause such a disturbance of chat. Bullet without pre-moves wouldn't really be a thing. I'm not sure about that, Rich. I think it has been done in the past. You seem to really enjoy that. I'm trying to stay healthy, Aquila. Yeah, you and me both, Witch Pawn, but apparently some people in chat does not have the same wishes. Okay, I'm just testing out the... Oh, it's my turn. I'm testing out the modified emote thingies. It's without menthol. What are you talking about, Marius? I didn't even know that was a thing. So I went to the store. I asked, can I get a nose spray? Like normal people do. And then she said, with or without menthol. And I don't even know what that is. So I was like, without? Basically just looking at her to check whether or not I had answered correctly. What is the main move here? This one. Menthol and nose spray is quite an experience. Yeah, now that when she said it, I kind of realized that I thought it was some kind of drug thing, because I have heard of like kids taking their nose spray kind of like for recreational drug experiences ish. I have no idea what this guy is doing. I don't think this is the theory. Okay, I think this is going to be okay for me. Hey, Chess Bay, how are you doing? What? Nasal spray? We just have saline solutions. Yeah, me too. So that's what I got, Aquila. That's what I got. But apparently some kids, I think, are getting high on some specialty nose spray. That's how gangster we are in Norway. The nose spray. That's how we have a party. Ulan gifting a sub to Chess Bay. Thank you so much, Ulan. No chess enhancing substances in that, I hope. Why would you hope that, Witch Pawn? If anything, there being chess enhancing substances would make it more popular, no? Wow, there's no way for me to defend this pawn. And I'm already down like 2 pawns. This is not great. Did you buy this under a bridge somewhere? I went to the grocery store. What are you talking about? We have easy access to drugs in Norway. That actually is true. Buro Canolo, hello, how are you? No spray addictive because of silometazoline. But is that what's in my thing, or is that like all no sprays? Because she specifically asked about menthol or something. And I really don't know what it is. I know the menthol candy, but I'm guessing this is slightly different. I feel like there should be some tactic available, but I don't see it. Also very low on time. Why did I do that? I'm just giving away my pawn. I forgot about this guy. I forgot about him. I'm so sorry. Also, he had knight b2, which would have been a disaster. I'm not playing super well this game, I think it's fair to say. Okay, let's start the pre-movie. Oh my gosh, I didn't really intend to do that. Didn't really intend to do that either. I actually checkmated myself. Feels bad, man. Oh my gosh. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I thought I had a good position there. Wow, you're going to bed, Marius? That is some unbelievable. Oh no, you're just leaving us for the evening. Good night. See you around, Marius. Talking about no spray, losing on time. Yeah, clearly the no spray was not helping me move faster, huh? Oh man, that hurts. Under 3,000, we need to take the hammer repertoire out? I don't know. We need to stop beating me on time. I'm being way too generous. Okay, let's try this. Old school. constantly French words trying to be English. Yeah. I'm sure that's the problem, Aquila. Which one of us played this incorrectly? Because I'm pretty sure this is not theory. I don't know, Jumpin' Jackson. I think it's just what naturally happens when you beat me. You know, beating me is such an extreme feat that the server just flushes you with rating points. Queen e7? No, that's just a different plan. I think I can play it the way I did. Right now, it's a bit annoying that this pawn is hanging. The amount of times I lose one game after just having lost another game is pretty, yeah, it's not a great stat for me. It tends to happen. Just lost? Really? You think so, Bolo? Nah. Should be fine. Oh, I'm not super happy. But lost is a bit strong. Maybe I am lost. It's really annoying, this pawn. Okay, I think let's do this. Would you be nervous to play Magnus? Yeah, I think so. I think it's a natural thing. But it hasn't stopped me from beating him a couple of times. So, you know, I do okay. He's enticing me to go rook g7 and then he's going to take on e5. Stop playing so slow. Wow. If actually just saying that helped, I would be 2700 Rooster. I can take them in a time scramble. The only reason I didn't win that time scramble earlier was because I hesitated at some point. I can normally win if I speed up with like 15 seconds left. Have you never lost a classical game on time? Probably I have, yeah. No, I have. I definitely have. I lost to Lamy on time in the European Team Championship. 2007. Olds. That's a long time ago. I take that one. He takes that one. Do I have any tricks? No. I guess let's just go back. This is the move. That was the move we were looking for. So his bishop is pretty bad. I think it's fair to say. I should have blocked out his bishop while I had the chance. That was a mistake. No, come on. That's not good. Okay. Stop playing so slow, says Rooster. Yeah, I try. At the end of the games, I try playing quickly again. And that's why pre-moves shouldn't be banned. Yeah, I suppose excess. Pre-moves carry a bit of risk. Viking Flagger strikes again. I don't know. That was uncomfortably close. I thought I was playing some decent chess though, but you're absolutely right that I'm playing too slow. If only there was an easy fix. Hey Gio, how are you doing? Next up is a Galadry. Galadry. Maybe it's French. Thank you, Witch Pawn. How was my position when I lost on time, asks Motor Breeze. It was an endgame where I had some pretty decent drawing chances, but I was probably objectively lost. But it was like an interesting endgame with a rook endgame with pawns on both sides. So yeah, I hadn't given up on the game. I just I had a tough decision to make on move 39 or something, and I just ran out of time. Couldn't make the decision in quickly enough. Kind of choked. Anytime you lose on time, it's probably because you choked. You have the exact same sweatshirt. It's a really nice one. It's like the North Face fleece. It's very nice for cold Norwegian winter weather. It also protects my neck very well. So it's especially nice when I'm sick to stay warm. Thoogie Boogie. Yeah, you can challenge me to a game on Chess 24. I'm only playing premium members though, so you need to be a premium on Chess 24. However the name is pronounced, that person is not here anymore. And we will play against Smurfin instead. And we get the white pieces, so we know it's going to be a win. Hammer reward to make you play gambit lines. But Avalanche, I'm playing the Hammer repertoire, which has absolutely no gambits in it whatsoever. True story. Don't add to my misery, Gio. Sounds boring? Yes, Rick. It's recommended by Anish Giri. Also true story. I met a funny Twitter message. I thought it was funny at least. I said on Twitter, I hope Anish was like saying nice things about my repertoire on Instagram. And I posted it on Twitter and I said, I'm not sure my repertoire benefits from having the Geary stamp of approval. Hey Snakey, is this still Hammer rep? No. Castles is unusual. Normally you go knight c6. So now we're just freestyling. But we want a pawn, so that's nice. I have 2 of these giggle. That's how much I like them. 2 identical fleece shirts, sweaters. Okay, do we want to give away our knight or our bishop? You know what? I think maybe in this instance, we want to go with the knight. But normally I would say the bishop is better. Nah, trust the instincts. Go with the bishop. We like to have the mobility of the knight to jump around and create chaos while we push our passed pawn forward. The bishop is not as effective in those situations. Kramnik students, how are you? After this, I'm only going to stay on for another 15 minutes, but after this, there's another banter blitz starting, back-to-back banter blitzes. So I will be rating Andrei Ostrovsky to continue all of the challenges I missed. Wow, Gio. That is such a guy thing to do. I just blundered a pawn. Queen a5 would have been a double attack against my knight and my pawn on a2. That was pretty weak. I think he is Dirk. I thought all the broadcasts are going to like Twitch and YouTube and all that stuff at the same time. Well, if it's not, then yeah, too bad. Bloby, you're next actually. I'm really hoping I get the black pieces. Did you study? Because as far as I remember, you got completely crushed last time. So you need to have an improvement ready. Also, I have an announcement of sorts. I have bought streaming equipment on Black Friday sale. So we will be adding a stream deck, which is supposed to make it easier for me to switch between different scenes. And I also bought like stream lighting, which is going to be interesting, on the recommendation of Tori. Tori has the best equipment of the chess streamers. So I trust her opinion on this. And then when it also was on sale, it was quite an easy decision. That is correct, Halvard, but don't tell people who are intending to play garbage that they play garbage. That's like the number one way of winning chess games. Just let your opponents play their silly little openings. Encourage them to keep playing it. Say, you know, good game, nice try, that was close. That's how you treat someone playing a silly opening. Ooh, he made a trap for me. Wow, and I almost fell into it. If I take this one now, he's going to give a check. But I have spotted his idea, and I've figured out how to deal with it. Stream Deck is awesome. Yeah, actually, Pizza Racer, I saw that on the reviews. A lot of people said that, you know, regardless of whether you're streaming or not, it's a really useful tool that can be used for a multitude of things. Wow, he's actually getting this pawn. That's really annoying. And frankly, undeserved, in my opinion. Okay. He wanted to attack my king instead, but I got that under control. Yeah, Ulat, I also bought a green screen. We'll see how that works with the lighting, because my lighting hasn't been great, so a green screen never really made sense. But I'll try to put a green screen behind me and see how it works out. Queen's Gambit is a gambit. What are you talking about? I am very anxious to give away any pawns for just a single second. The Marshall Gambit is pretty good, Avalanche. Darth Kata, there's no reward for beating me. Well, it's the honor and glory and respect of all your fellow viewers. Just paint the wall green. Yeah, honestly, that's also a decent suggestion. We're considering doing that at the Play Magnus offices. Just paint a wall to make a green screen. You found out how to beat the Botas Gambit? It's not really that difficult though. You take the queen and then you win. What are you talking about, Shadbad? Okay, actually before you, Bloby, it's Feggy. But I think this person is not here. We'll give him 30 seconds. Boy prodigy Shreyas? I don't think he's much of a prodigy compared to some of the Indian kids they have, Bolo. Is he? I thought he got a lot of PR, but he wasn't especially strong. I'm gonna Google him. Yeah, I mean, he's good. But he's way too young to tell. It's not banter. He's doing Training Tuesday. Here I am, not knowing the different things. So, can you explain to me, Kramnik student, what is a Training Tuesday? Then I can more accurately describe what is happening when I finish my stream. Apol, I googled this kid Shreyas Royale. Wow, knight c3. He actually just switched his fifth move entirely. What a decision. Okay, I'm gonna play c5, try to take some control in the center. Black King on vacation? Yeah. So it's on a bit of a journey, but I think it's going to be fine. Okay, we're going back home. So, Bloby, what were you saying about the Cochrane Gambit being good? I must have misunderstood some of your French accent. I fought in your general direction. Your knight I captured for free smelled of elderberries. I could have done those references better, I feel. It's because of my nose, I'm sure. Ugh. Yeah, I can feel something is happening. Maybe I'm getting more sick, maybe I'm getting less sick. Only time will tell. Hammer with the trash talk. Attempted trash talk, I would say, Pizza Racer. I'm not very impressed by myself right there. Controlling the center with your king, yeah, that's how we do it. To be fair, the reason Magnus is sick is very different to the reason why I am sick, Midnight Fox. Magnus is currently in India and having stomach problems. I think it doesn't take a genius to guess what has happened there. That's also a song I listened to recently. What is that song? Okay, so Bloby, you have 3 pawns in exchange for a knight. How are you feeling about your pawns? Please let me know in chat. How do you feel about the strength of your pawns currently? Actually, my knight is pretty close to being trapped. Huh. Okay, we'll save the trash talk until we kind of fix the situation with this guy. Aronian had tripled pawns in the center. Looked funky. Did he win? So right now, if he goes rook e3, I go knight g5. Because then he blocks the diagonal for the bishop. So it's actually not so easy for him to trap the knight if it just stays put. And my plan is just to get the rook over to attack. They moved away from the game. Don't you hate that, Pizza Racer? You're watching an interesting game and then boom. Away it goes. Seven pieces on the C file? That's pretty intense. We're pretty close to matching it in this game though. What's the idea of h3? I don't really know. I think just give the king a square. So now he's threatening bishop g5 check, after which my rook is in trouble. So I'm going to move my king to a light square. Now there's no checks on my king. My knights are ready to start capturing many pawns. And frankly, there's nothing he can do about it. Is the hippo considered a good opening? No. I see all the trick, Jakes. And notice here how I managed. He had 3 pawns for a piece, but that was 10 moves ago. And now my extra piece has managed to capture all of his pawns. So when you're attacking, 3 pawns for a piece can be enough. But if you're not attacking, normally it's better to have the piece than the 3 pawns. Are 3 knights and king winning versus a bishop and a king in the endgame? I don't know, random name. I'm sure you can check that somewhere though. I would guess the answer is yes, actually. Knights are pretty tricky. I feel like the answer could be yes. Good game, Bloby. Keep trying, you know. Very close. Try again next time. Keep giving me free pieces in the opening. Okay, last game for today. Last game, and it's going to be against Fidelev. Ooh, and I got the white pieces. Feels bad, man. You can't make the same joke 2 days in a row, the caption. That's not okay. Bishop g4, is that normal? Probably. Oh, my bad. Knight c6, huh? So this man is just trying to take my pawns. How rude. We'll just try to take his bishop pair. I really regret this move. This was such a dumb move. Okay, we're just gonna put the knight in the middle. Have you stopped playing Fortnite? No, Avalanche. The last time I played Fortnite, I won. But I haven't played in a while now. I haven't really been feeling in the mood for it. I'm pretty competitive. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm pretty competitive when playing Fortnite. So I have to be like in a decent mood. And I have to feel like energized, or at least I can't feel very tired. I was actually considering playing a bit after the stream, but I might just get some tea instead or something. Just relax a bit, get some sleep. Oof. Oof, that was my strategy, putting my knight here. I wanted to get rid of that bishop, but I didn't expect to get rid of it the way I did. Oof, and look at that black king. Poor guy. You should check my VODs, Jake. I had a really nice win on stream the other day. Basically, I had no kills going into the final 5 people, and then I killed 3 out of the last 4. No, Alec doesn't really stream anymore, Avalanche. He streams like Thursdays, like 2 hours once a week or something. So I had to move on for my Fortnite content. Now I'm watching Chap and Nate Hill. Chap has now read 2 of my comments in the last week. I basically wrote 3 lines of texts, And you could see like he was actively struggling to kind of read all of it while doing his landing, but he completed it and he answered my comment. And another person in chat said that they agreed with my analysis of the situation. Such a fanboy? You're not wrong. But honestly, I mean, I'm not such a fanboy for Chap. I find all of the Fortnite guys to be pretty toxic. But I was making an argument for kind of the logic behind. So the thing is that he was actively trying to destroy someone else's game. But there was there were pretty good competitive reasons for why he was doing it. So in Fortnite, if someone lands at the same place as you, there's a big increase in the chance of you getting killed early. And so in the current Fortnite championship thingy, they were trying to ruin the game for some people who landed at the same location they did, to make sure that those people did not qualify into finals because they themselves, Chap and his team, had already qualified. So for them, it didn't matter whether or not they did poorly in the qualifier because they had already qualified, and they used that time to just ruin the game for someone else who was landing at the same spot as they did, which is basically a strategy to increase your chances in the final. It's Chap. Avalanche. Chap. Anyway, that was it from me. We're going to see if Andre is on Twitch, and if he is, we'll send the raid his way. Let me maximize this window. So Andre is only doing YouTube streams? Is that it? He doesn't do the... Whatever. Buddha is streaming. We'll send the raid to him. Unless someone wants to redeem. What was your comment on this strategy? Well, my comment, Avalanche, was that because Chap was saying that he just hated when people landed on him, and that he didn't care whether he didn't win as much money in the qualifier. It was more important for him to make a statement telling people that I will go crazy if you land in my spot. And then I wrote the argument that actually you are thinking about your money prices because you're optimizing your chances for the final where the money prices are bigger. So you're basically making an investment for the final by making sure that people don't land in your spot. This is what you found on the internet. Jon Ludvig Hammer net worth $1 million to $5 million. That's a pretty good random name. I'm not sure it's true though. Also in Norway, we have public tax lists. So, I mean, you don't have to, you just have to be a Norwegian citizen, and then you can find out my taxable net worth, at least. It doesn't tell the whole truth, but it tells you a bit. You also found on Google that Svidler has $200 million. Yeah, that absolutely sounds like reliable intel right there. Yeah, I'm done, Bunkinator. My next stream is going to be on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Oslo time. That is 3:30 p.m. New York time. So a much later stream on Thursday, and then on Saturday I'm doing 6 hours during the Banterthon on Chess 24. Heartweizen Noodle, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits, and we'll send the raid to my newest buddy, Mr. Buddha. $2K hammers for whoever checks Hammer's tax records. Hammers are more valuable than that, though, Hiata, man. I feel like you're gonna have to pay at least 50,000 hammers for such intel. Does the King of Norway have public taxes as well? That's a good question, actually, Jake. I would think the answer is yes, but I would have no idea how to search him in the tax records. I don't even know if he has a proper name. I think the King of Norway only has like a first name. His Royal Majesty Harald V. I don't know if he has a last name. He's like King Harald. King is his first name, essentially. He doesn't pay tax? Seriously, Olaf? Norway is so weird. Last name Norway? Yeah, maybe viral. Okay, see you around, everyone. Thursday, 9:30 p.m., 3:30 Eastern. Taxes to whom? Himself? To the Norwegian state, Mythic. What are you talking about? Yeah, good games, everyone. Bye.